Hello and welcome to the Under the Bridge, the second annual beach off. This is going to be very difficult because we're not at a beach, but as long as we're all clear on the rules of what it means to beach one another off, we can continue.
Oh, God almighty.
I am, of
when
course,
you get, like, the
kidding.
soundtrack in the background.
Anyways, we have a guest today.
Hello. My name is Rich. I'd like to go as InStirMental, but hi, how's everybody doing?
Well.
I'm doing well as well.
And we are your regular hosts, Cody, aka the Scarlet Troll.
And Greg, aka Greg.
And it's time to cover some news. But also, before I cover the news, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Yeah. Thanks for dropping on.
Yeah, I was like, you know, when you first talked about it, I was like, this seems like a really awesome idea, and it's just awesome seeing you guys being so consistent, and it's, you know, you guys are going to make it something pretty awesome going down the line.
Heck yeah.
Stay with it.
That is absolutely the idea.
That is the plan.
That is the L plan.
You know who seemingly doesn't have a plan? Monster Energy.
Oh, wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're apparently launching a suit against Glowstick Entertainment to try to get them to change the name of their 2020 horror game, Dark Deception, Monsters and Mortals.
What? It's a word.
It's crazy. It's crazy in today's day and age.
Yeah, apparently it's confusingly similar to their energy drink.
How? Is it green?
No.
No,
then
like
what the hell?
they kind of did etching almost. When you're talking about monsters, you're thinking, I don't know, creepy and like, I don't know, eerie almost. But I don't know, it doesn't look similar in any way. They didn't use like the little line in the O that the monster does, and I don't know. It's weird that you're like trying to sue someone for having the name and almost, I guess, using the same aesthetic. But yeah.
It's not the first time Monster has done this either. They've actually gone up against Capcom and Pokemon.
Really?
Yes.
Who do you think you are?
For real?
Idiots. They think they're idiots, apparently.
Oh, goodness.
I don't know. When I was watching Moist Critical's thought on it and everything like that, and he basically was just like, how have we come to this point of where, you know, some big corporation is trying to take the little people out? Because this game doesn't have that many people like playing it. When he looked it up, there was like 8 people currently playing it, and the peak was like 200 and something people playing it at like one given time. So like, I don't know, it's kind of really sleazy that they're going after just because of the fact that it, I guess, confuses their customers. I don't know.
And it doesn't. It's just them trying to flex and be, we're the only ones who could use this very popular, very common use word. In fact, according to Glowstick CEO Vincent Livings, per the overarching settlement terms that Monster Energy sent, it demands that in exchange for allowing them to use the name Monsters and Mortals, they agree to never name any other game any variation of the word monster. It also forces us to agree to never use a green and white logo on a black background for any game we ever make. So they own the colors green and white too, apparently.
Yeah, I even like read a little bit on like also that it's saying that they can't use Beast or Unleash either.
Are those names of flavors?
No, it's like their slogan, like Unleash the Beast or something like that. I don't know. I don't know. How are you going to take someone's vocabulary away from their design? Like,
especially when you have almost nothing to do with games. You have Monster Energy Supercross, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And other people were using the term monster in relation to games well before you were.
I hope this does the usual thing, because I feel like what happens with stories like this is that it gets big, and it's like, let's go and pay attention to the thing that, or the people that they're suing, and it's like, cool, thanks for the extra business, we think?
Yeah. Like, it could
as long as it gets more people to play it.
Yeah, it could do the other thing, and people are like, oh, I've never even heard of this game. And then they go actually and, like, watch a video, and they're like, oh, this game's pretty cool. And then they go out and buy it. I don't know. It's strange that they're strong-arming such a small company in this.
And the really frustrating part is that the main thing that's gaining traction, And the main thing everybody keeps reporting on is that, yeah, Monster once tried to get Pokemon and Capcom to stop using the term monster. And it's like, okay, but that's not what's currently happening. What's currently happening is they're trying to bully an indie studio.
Yeah.
So how about we focus on that?
Yeah, and I'm sure that didn't go anywhere because Capcom and Pokemon are not indie studios. They have loads of lawyers who are probably told Monster very effectively to kick rocks. That's unfortunately not the same situation here.
Yeah.
Exactly. In any case, I don't need an excuse not to buy Monster because I think it tastes like ass. But this just makes it all that much easier.
Yeah.
And I'm comfortable saying that because, hey, I didn't use the word in relation to anything else. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Sue me?
Oh god.
Crazy.
Yeah, no.
By the time this particular episode could possibly gain any traction.
Yeah,
too
right.
late, suckers.
Yeah.
Haha.
Take that. No, actually do sue us so that it can maybe do the thing we were talking about where it
Slap 'em
basically-
back.
Yeah, like it takes off. Like, oh, now I'm going to start listening to these people.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, by all means.
Yeah.
Except for the part where I need to hire a lawyer.
Yeah, that part kind of sucks. I mean, I probably have to do that so too. It's like, oh, okay. I mean, the extra attention is bad, but it's like legal fees are a bitch.
Well, we'll just do like a GoFundMe or something. I'm pretty sure people will support the
Ooh.
fact that, you know, just to, at least the bare minimum pay for whatever to like get them out of our hair, you know?
Good point. Hit me with it, Monster Energy. Come on.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's so bizarre the way that they're going about it.
Agreed. In news that is nearer and dearer to my heart, but also very unofficial, rumors abound that we're getting a very high-quality Persona 3 remake.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a remaster not that long ago?
Yes, there was, but like that's gonna stop Sega if they want money.
That's fair.
Allegedly, the footage which depicts Yukari Takaba firing some arrows is from Sega Japan's internal meeting of 2021. There's characters on the top right that reads footage in development. It also features some really upscaled Sonic Frontier stuff and what looks to be a potential another Jet Set radio.
Yeah, I mean,
okay, so for the last one, I'm not going to believe anything regarding that unless there's an actual announcement or gameplay footage, but I'd be lying if I said that didn't have at least a little bit of my attention.
True.
yeah, I mean, if it is, as much as I would want another Persona anything, Jet Set has long needed some sort of love.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, I don't know, some people are saying, like, it's like a fan-made project, potentially. So, you know, today's day and age, people know how to, you know, really do a whole bunch to make it seem as if it's legit as possible. Because it's something made in 2021, so now it's being shown. It's, I don't know. It's
entirely possible this is fake.
Yeah.
Like I said, I won't believe any part of it until actual announcements or actual gameplay, like, trailers happen. But part of my brain is kind of doing the whole, no, please. Like, even though I've never touched any of those games, it's like, don't give me hope.
This is one of those ones where I almost didn't include it because it's not really news, it's just rumors. But on the flip side, A, it's Persona, and B, no, that's pretty much it. I did it because it's Persona. And that franchise has been near and dear to my heart for the last 5 years-ish, almost. Closer to 4.
That's fair.
However, I would have rather gotten Persona 2 Duology remake or something.
Yeah.
Just because 3's already been remade, like, 3 times.
Yeah. But, I mean, if it's something so great, you know, you just, as long as they're, like, carrying it on to the next, you know, generation, that's pretty cool.
Yep, just gotta keep going back to that well over and over again.
Yeah.
Which actually segues very nicely into my next bit of news. Who's ready for Shrek 5?
What?
I mean, that sounds awesome. I don't know. Shrek has been pretty cool, but, I mean, having a 5th one would be definitely something to, like, recapture my childhood.
I thought Shrek was dead. Like, not the character, I thought just the franchise was dead at this point.
Well, it ain't ogre yet.
Well,
it
I mean, they had the Puss in
yet,
Boots.
he says.
Yeah, they had the
Oh,
Puss in
true.
Boots, so, like, I mean, in the same world, But
no, that's true. I didn't think about that.
yeah. What was crazy is like when I was looking things up about Shrek, I went on YouTube just to see if there was anything more, and I saw that I don't know if you've seen the Shrek Retold on YouTube.
No.
No? Dude, honestly, this is top 10 best content on YouTube. I know it sounds so like jokingly said, but the way that they do it is pretty cool. It's like they have like a bunch of different styles of films, like some, sketches to animation to live action to having even different types of genres to like mix it into it. Drama or like a sitcom or, and it retells the first Shrek. I mean, I don't know. It's pretty awesome. I was very like, what? And then I was like, oh, okay. And then I was like, whoa, this is really well done. So I don't know. I was just a little thing, like, if you guys have time, definitely watch that.
I might have to. This sounds very Dover Boys of Pimento University reanimated collaboration. But that was only like a 10-minute Looney Tunes short, as opposed to a hour and a half movie.
Yeah, it's like an hour and a half. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it, like, really just literally takes it from first scene to end scene in their own style of, 5 to 10 minute clips of different styles of film. So it's pretty cool.
Okay.
Nutty. But yeah, no, per Illumination founder and CEO Chris Meledandri, he is a creative partner to DreamWorks while they're looking to work more on the Shrek franchise. Apparently, Mike Myers, Cameron Diaz, and Eddie Murphy are all in talks to return. No deals are in place, but negotiations are going well, according to Chris. He also said there's the potential for, a donkey movie.
Yo.
Okay. Sure, why not?
Which they did Puss in Boots, so that's not the craziest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, no.
I mean, in a
it's
lot
still
of ways,
crazy.
Donkey kind of not so much carried, but like he definitely was not just a co-character in the actual story. He was right there, really making the movie that it is.
True.
On the one hand, I feel like you're right. On the other hand, I also feel like having a movie entirely focused around Donkey is going to get real old real quick.
Yeah, I feel that.
It's going to be a no, not a microcosm, a macrocosm of that scene from Shrek 2 where he's just sitting in the car making the noise. Can you not be yourself for 5 minutes? You're just going to be sitting there going, is it over yet? But it ain't over yet.
Oh boy.
And speaking of continuations that probably don't need to happen, according to Bloomberg, Warner Bros. Discovery is close to a deal for a new online TV series based on Harry Potter.
Okay.
Huh. Okay.
I mean, I don't know. As a kid, I loved Harry Potter. I was really immersed into the world. My cousin loved it. I don't know. I'm a little like stoked in a way. I kind of liked the world of Harry Potter, so seeing where it goes.
I don't mind the world, but I mind... This is supposed to be apparently a reboot, basically, where each season of the series is based on one of the books. And it's just like... The last movie only came out about, 12 years ago?
Yeah.
That's not that terribly long. And just because you failed with Fantastic Beasts minus a bunch of beasts in terms of actually expanding the world... doesn't mean you have to go back to exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, have they said if it's the story of, like, Harry and Hermione and Rupert, or...
Well, yeah, since each season is going to be based on one of the books.
Yeah.
Well, fair, but I was gonna say, is it still going to be, like, 100% focused on them, or is it going to explore other
or like
aspects?
Another character that's like a side character or something like that in the same time frame.
If they did that, that'd be cool. I can't imagine they're that creative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Case in point, Fantastic Beasts, now about Dumbledore and Wizard Hitler.
I still need to watch the final one.
I mean, a guy on YouTube, he kind of did a good job with basically casting who should play like Harry Potter, who should play Hermione, and like, even like the teachers and like the bigger characters, like the older characters. And I don't know, it was kind of cool seeing like his mindset on what actor and actresses would be fit to play the parts. It's like actors and actresses that are like not well known, definitely kids, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I like I said, as a kid, I kind of liked the Harry Potter, and it would be kind of cool seeing it kind of reimagined.
Oh yeah, casting speculation is always fun.
Mhm.
Oh yes.
I don't know who the up and coming child actors or teenage actors are these days, so I have no idea who it would be. But casting speculation is always fun.
Yeah, the way that he kind of put it was casting people or, kids that aren't too well known, but like can really hold their own when it comes to like performing.
Yeah, the ones that have potential but aren't already locked into a multi-film
Yeah.
picture deal.
kind of like how the original Harry Potter was, like they all
Yeah.
kind of were. Now they like became those, actors or those characters.
Daniel Radcliffe was Harry Potter, and
Yes.
now he's the star of my favorite movie of 2022, Weird the Al Yankovic Story.
Yes, I definitely still need to see that.
Same.
Well, maybe Warner Brothers can use this to pad some time out while they work on another idea, because according to James Gunn, discussions have been had about a Marvel DC crossover.
Yes.
I wouldn't expect great things, but I would be very interested in it.
Now, I did kind of clickbait that,
Okay.
Mhm.
which is why it's not going in the title, so that way nobody can say clickbait.
Fair.
Because what he said was, that's many years away.
Yeah.
I have to establish what we're doing at DC first. I would be lying to say that we haven't discussed it, but all discussions have been very, very light and fun. Which, good. This should not be a serious discussion thing,
Yeah.
because at this stage, you don't have DC. So it would be, and hell, you don't have a lot of the Marvel characters that people have really come to care about anymore. So now it would be some Marvel characters crossed over with a bunch of people nobody knows yet.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, wasn't like the first time that they did like a crossover, like with the comic books, was like with Spider-Man, like Superman and Spider-Man, I believe.
That was definitely one of the earlier ones. They
Yeah.
made some big events out of the JLA versus the Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I feel about this, because on the one hand, yeah, that does sound cool, but on the other hand, there's a quote by Dave Goyer, writer of Batman v Superman,
Mhm.
that Batman v Superman is the movie you go to when you've run out of ideas. Admittedly,
Yeah.
that hasn't aged well.
no, and to be fair, writing is a job, you don't always get to pick what you work on, and it's possible his opinion changed in between, but there's some truth to that. Throwing things together in an adversarial way is what you do kind of when you can't really think of what else to do. Case in
Yeah.
point, it's the third and final Steve Rogers movie is him fighting Iron Man, and it was a great movie, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Civil War is still one of my favorites. But, yeah. Especially, it feels like another attempt at serial escalation when you think about how far out it would have to be. Because we've already had, all the Avengers team up. The Avengers team up with the Guardians. The Avengers are about to team up with a bunch of different multiversal Avengers in, 4 years or something.
Yeah.
They're gonna team up with an entirely different company worth of superheroes. God, can we
Yeah.
go back to Daredevil or some shit?
Yeah, I mean, one thing that would be pretty cool, though, is I know that they did a little Marvel versus DC, and it was like their realms were, going against each other. So, it was all the characters. So that would be cool if that was, the one and done type situation, where we have everybody on this super freaking crazy movie where we have a bunch of superheroes facing one another.
Definitely, especially because there was some wacky stuff that went on in there. Quicksilver versus Flash took place on Marvel Earth, and Quicksilver ended up winning because there's no Speed Force.
That sounds
Yeah.
like a very fun fight.
Yeah.
And I don't remember who Scarlet Witch fought, or if she fought anybody, but it turned out DC Universe is literally, just infused with chaos magic, so she's even more powerful there.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Batman and Cap ended up I think they ended up, scoping each other out during their fight. Batman, I think, conceded that Cap could probably beat him, but that there was something bigger going on, and then they decided to team up, so that was cool.
Uh-huh.
I think Superman fought Thor, but I feel like nowadays you'd probably have Thor fight Shazam.
Mm.
Yeah, that would be, in terms of abilities and setup, probably a more equal match.
And then I think it
But
was
who'd fight Superman?
yeah. I mean, Spider-Man. I don't know. That's one thing that they had as a actual thing that happened, or in the comics at least. But
that was a much longer time ago when
it was just
they
basically
kind of scaled.
top dog versus top dog of the companies.
Yeah, because realistically, Spider-Man ain't touching Superman.
Oh, yeah, I mean, yeah. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Clever ways? I don't know.
You'd have to hit Superman with, like, a time-stopping ray for Spider-Man to even catch up with him, and if he managed to land a hit after that, Soup's reaction would probably be, huh, that tickles.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think, like, Storm was facing against Wonder Woman, too, and, like, beat her or something like that.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Storm vs. Wonder Woman is a sick idea.
I'm still trying to figure out who would the only person I could realistically think of is going up against Superman would be Tony Stark, and he is unfortunately a bit dead.
Nah, Tony can't even fight Thor. He wouldn't last against Soups. Put Tony up against Blue Beetle.
Oh, fair.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Anyways, I've rambled on enough about who fights who. Last week, Greg and I talked about Ike Perlmutter being let go from Disney, well, from Marvel specifically, by Disney, and how this is a great thing, because he's a terrible, terrible man. Absolute cheapskate, probably racist, probably sexist.
Just the wombo combo of just bad everything corporate human beingness.
Yeah. He did an interview with the Wall Street Journal, and in it, he said, "Oh, I was fired, I wasn't laid off," which, okay, cool, that makes you sound worse.
Yeah, that's not better, dog.
He also said, "All they talk about is box office, box office. I care about the bottom line. I don't care how big the box office is. Only people in Hollywood talk about box office." Bruh!
The box office... the box office directly correlates with the bottom line.
How the fuck do you think you make money? How do you think the Marvel Studios movies make money? I know you're not really in charge of them anymore, and you're mostly dealing with, like, the merchandising side of it, but, bruh!
Yeah.
What do you think makes people want to buy the merch? It's the movies.
It's kind of funny, too, because it's a taste of his own medicine, because he was very, cutting corners or cheap, and now, like, Disney's like, oh, yeah, we're gonna do that, too, and you're kind of one to be the big guy that we're gonna let go. A big chunk of money.
Yeah, now that you mention it, Ike, I know how we could save millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Really hit me with it.
Okay.
You asked for it!
Yeah, it's like, hey, here's your very early and unplanned retirement.
Yeah, like,
Here
he's the
you
one
go.
that's leading the whole entire conference, and then all of a sudden, like, they turn and are like, oh, okay, yeah, well, I think the first thing we'll do is, we'll let you go.
It's like, what about my 401k? It just throws a Iron Man book bag with a 401k letter in it. It's like, here you go.
And, like, I can almost see where he's coming from in the sense of, yeah, they spend a lot of money on stuff, and sometimes, like with Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, it doesn't always pay off. But cutting corners to the point of excessive frugality just damages audience trust and just makes them less likely to go for the things you're pushing anyway.
Yeah.
I mean...
So, shut up, Ike.
Yeah, it's like pinching pennies in order to, like, I don't know, try to make some more money out of it, but such a big corporation shouldn't need to do something like that.
And trying to cut corners that much to save and maximize profits, like, yeah, but it's part of the game, dude. At some point, you are just going to have to take the L.
Yeah.
You do have to spend money to make money.
Yeah.
Yes.
Being comfortable with not being like a gazillion fulfillionaire, like, just be comfortable.
Yeah.
How much more do you need?
He also says he warned the Disney higher-ups not to get involved in politics, referring to Disney getting into it with DeSantis over the Parental Rights and Education Act. So he said, don't get involved in politics, you're going to get hurt, it's a no-win situation. And now, maybe I'm putting the cart before the horse a little bit here, but watching the absolute shit show that is Disney forcing the Reedy Creek District Board out of any kind of semblance of power, using a clause invoking the death of the last surviving descendants of King Charles III, I can't help but think, maybe Ike was wrong about that one too.
Yeah.
Just a tad. Just a smidge.
Only a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's really funny to see.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, indeed.
So yeah, all in all, don't let the door hit you on the way out, buddy. Thanks for helping Marvel get out of bankruptcy in the 90s, but you probably should have let go of that nickel you were squeezing.
Yeah. It's kind of like he got him to Disney, and Disney is like, alright, bye. Like,
alright, now we have money to spend, but
Yeah.
we shouldn't spend money. For fuck's sake. Speaking of bad CEO decisions, boy, I'm just killing it with these transitions today.
It's not bad.
Everything just flows into each other. It's like poetry. It rhymes.
Yeah,
that'll come up later.
Yeah.
Oh, God almighty.
So, at least one senator and 3 House representatives want the Justice Department to investigate Warner Brothers' Discovery.
Oh, really?
Yes, under the claim that the merged company has harmed workers and reduced consumer choice, citing, for example, the layoffs over the past year, as well as writing off of artistic projects like Batgirl for tax purposes.
It only took this long for them to go, it's like, hey, they're like writing off like millions and millions of dollars of stuff, because this has been going on for what? Year and a half, something like that?
No, less than that, I think.
Okay. But even still, it's just like, guys, maybe we should, like, care. It's like, I don't know, this is a little sus.
Yeah, like, I mean, tax write-offs in themselves can be kind of interesting, how you can really cut all the corners to make it so that, like, you're not paying any of your taxes.
Yeah, especially, it's not even about that, it's about the fact that I feel like the most baffling thing is there are things that they wrote off for taxes that are complete, finished, and were available for streaming. And then they said, no, never mind, you're not going to see this anymore. Fucking with artist residuals, writer residuals, fucking just an absolute scum show just to save money. When it's like... And it gets even more baffling because, following on from this, allegedly, Warner Brothers has been getting rid of thousands of movie posters and press kits, and then just, I guess they were letting people who were on the set or whatever, or in the lot, collect them, but then they stopped, and now everything was being tossed into a dumpster, and security won't allow any diving.
Yeah, that's upsetting.
They're literally throwing away movie history that you want to write off? Donate that to a museum or a library or something, and write that off as a charitable donation.
Yeah.
Or, if you want to make money directly, hold some auctions yourself and fucking sell it.
Yeah, give it to somebody who would appreciate it. Like,
what a nightmare.
They were like from like the 1950s. Back in the day, that was how they promoted their stuff. TV, sure, but like, I mean, we're talking like radio was like the main source of like entertainment in a way.
Yeah.
Howdy ho, friends, it's the podcast Great Granddaddy.
Yeah.
Radio broadcasts.
Yeah.
Apropos of nothing, it is funny how that's kind of turned back around. Radio was like the main source of like entertainment outside of like comics or whatever through like the 30s and 50s. Then we got televisions and movies, and then for me personally, I feel like podcasting has made a massive boom in the last few years. It's like, huh.
Yeah, partly because everybody was shut up for a while.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And then, like, on top of it, people don't, a lot of times, have time to actually watch something and, like, sit down. So, like, usually it's, like, the drive commute or while they're studying or, you know, they're able to, like, listen to something, which is pretty cool. Like,
what a bunch of great reasons to listen to podcasts said on this podcast.
Like ours.
Yeah, and then I know, like, HBO Max is, like, even going to be, like, potentially raising the prices to actually be able to watch the Warner Bros. Stuff, which is, I think, pretty crazy.
Especially when you already cut so much shit.
I know, like,
yeah.
Just to gain access, you have to pay an extra $5 just to watch their stuff. Because I'm pretty sure they own HBO Max or like working with or something like that.
No, they own it entirely.
Yeah.
There were plans to combine it with Discovery Plus and make a new service, but I guess those petered out when they realized that the people paying for HBO Max don't care about Discovery bullshit, and the people paying for Discovery don't care about HBO Max.
Yeah. See, I get it when it comes to like an actual separate thing, almost like the Disney. Like if it's like if you want to watch ESPN as well, like pay a little bit more, but like when it comes to an actual like producer or like producing like, you know, whatever movies and shows, you shouldn't limit people from not being able to watch just because they're a lower tier. I don't know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, we haven't even gotten to the big enchilada yet.
Oh really? And what was that, dare I ask?
Star Wars Celebration, Greg.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, whole bunch of Star Wars announcements happened, and I'm not planning on going over everything because it's Star Wars and my interest is rapidly waning.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say, I feel like one of the biggest things, other than a new trailer that we'll get into later on during trailer time, is they have announced 3 new movies.
Yes.
Okay, let's see if these actually get made.
Right?
Yeah. And I hate saying that, honestly.
No, but after everything that they've canceled and everything that they've shelved, it's just like, fuck, man. I wish I could care.
Yeah. Like, I mean, in the way that, like, it was put to the person that actually did the announcement was like, these are, like, very in the beginning, so, like, yeah, hopes for one of these to at least come out is okay, but all 3, I don't know.
Oh, from what I've heard, Kathleen Kennedy said the new films that were announced are pretty far along development-wise.
Oh.
So,
well,
hopefully that means they... But I'm still going to talk about them in order from most likely to come out to least likely to come out, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
First, we got a film coming from Dave Filoni.
Yeah.
Okay.
The guy did
The creator
Rogue
of-
One, right?
No, he was the creator of the Clone Wars animated series and Star Wars Rebels.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's going to be making a film focusing on the New Republic. Apparently, it's supposed to be sort of a... what Mando, Boba Fett, and Ahsoka are all leading up to, or something like that, is the expectation.
Yeah.
So I feel like that one's bound to happen, if only because the shows are already there, they're already happening. If they don't make this movie, that's however many millions of dollars they spent making these shows down the fucking toilet.
Yeah, because it's like the closing of it, right? Like that's what it's gonna be.
Especially because they're not making their money back on these Disney Plus shows, because they don't... Disney Plus isn't that expensive.
Yeah, I mean, it's maybe just in the long run, the overall, but yeah.
The next most likely, I think, is from Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy, who is going to be making a film that is set 15 years after Rise of Skywalker that will feature Daisy Ridley back as Rey as she builds a new Jedi Order.
Yeah.
Should have been Luke. But
I mean, I don't know. It's like the new, and the new coming of it, and Luke kind of passed that, baton over to Rey, being worthy of a leader, of a Jedi as well,
I mostly only meant in the sense of, oh, that thing that we already teased was happening only to tear it down again.
Mm-hmm.
Only we're doing it for real this time, and you should 100% be invested in it, guys. We swear.
Yeah. Well, because, I mean... the actor from, Luke, the guy who plays Luke, wasn't he kind of, off about, the latest movies? Not really liking the direction, so, I mean, maybe he's just, done with it,
Fair.
Yeah. I'm blanking on the man's name, even though he's such a prolific actor.
Mark
I
Hamill?
know. I'm terrible with names.
Mark Hamill.
Perfect with faces. Yeah, Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks, that's it.
I would kill for Tom Hanks
Life
in Star
is
Wars.
like a Jedi.
I would kill for Tom
Okay,
Hanks in Star
Jedi.
Wars. I don't know what you guys are talking about. No,
You just edit Forrest Gump into the prequel trilogy.
Yeah.
I don't think, as far as I know, I don't think... I don't think Mark Hamill's ever, explicitly said that he's, sick of Star Wars in its current state.
Yeah.
But I remember watching videos of him at panels and whatnot, talking about acting and whatnot, and it's kind of one of those things where I feel like he's, ever as subtly as Mark Hamill is, because sometimes he really isn't. He's definitely implied it's yeah, this hasn't gone how I thought it was going to.
Yeah, he's kind of down about the role in which they kind of put him in at the new movies, at least.
Yeah, I distinctly remember when he was told about the ending of episode 7 and how he shows up. He was I don't remember if it was a good surprise or a bad surprise, but he was very surprised that he just kind of stands there and doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
And I think it was either in regards to that or in regards to the beginning of episode 8 where he just stands there and throws the lightsaber.
Yeah.
So this one, I think, has a decent chance of getting made, if only because they really want people to forget how the Rise of Skywalker left everything off, and the easiest way to do that is to jump ahead and say, don't worry, things will get better. For real this time. We swear. This isn't just another fake out like the sequel trilogy.
Yeah.
And then, this one disappoints me, because this is the one that I'm probably most excited for, but is also least likely to be happening. James Mangold is going to be directing a film set 25,000 years before the events of any of the other Star Wars movies, dealing with the first Force user.
So, biblical Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yes, it's been described as a sort of biblical epic, which, that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Given James Mangold's filmmaking style, he could do some really great things with that.
Yeah.
It's never gonna happen.
I mean, I don't know. We just gotta have a petition or like a bunch of people being like, "Yo, like make this happen." Because I would
make this
love
one,
to see
or we
that.
shoot you all.
Yeah, 'cause, I mean, his style with like Logan was awesome, and I mean even like 310 Yuma was really good. The Greatest Showman, that was awesome. I really enjoy this. Like he's doing the new Indiana Jones, right?
He is.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
that's right.
I mean, I don't know. He's doing great, and so
Thing.
I hope that he really can take this and make it into actuality.
No, especially because I hate Logan, but Logan is a very well-made movie.
Yeah, it's like very artistic. It's like almost like Joker, like the latest one.
It's better than Joker because it has a point.
I know, but it more or less in that sense, like where you kind of get like more realism of like his life, like kind of like himself. No big Batman and this and that and like all this stuff going around, or even with like Wolverine not fighting like crazy super people and stuff. It's like a raw take on it.
It's a superhero western, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
I only hate Logan because it's a bad X-Men movie, and it's only a bad X-Men movie because most of the other X-Men movies are bad. If the X-Men franchise leading up to that movie had been good, Logan would have been every bit the masterful, emotional send-off that they wanted it to be. But because most of those movies are shit, it's literally just, hey, we just fixed the X-Men. Who's ready for... Oh, they're all dead again! Isn't that a shame? What did him in? Professor Xavier's Alzheimer's and also corn.
Yeah.
And also corn.
What a stupid fucking concept. And it would have been great if anything else in the movies had been zany or upbeat or anything other than a flaming goddamn train wreck. And I'm over-exaggerating for comedic effect because First Class was actually really good, and I at least liked watching The Last Stand, even though it was also terrible. Honestly, same with Origins Wolverine. Most of the X-Men movies I like are the bad ones.
Yeah.
Going back to the Star Wars thing for a second.
You're right, that thing.
I am with you, Cody, in that I really want this to happen, even though I'd say chances overall, this is, if any of them do get axed, is probably the most likely. Primarily just because I've always said the thing that always has gotten me into Star Wars is not so much like the characters or the story of the characters themselves. It's more so all the things that make Star Wars as a universe work. Like the world building and like the politics and like how different aspects create the core elements of like what happens in characters' story. So the idea of the first like Force user or whatever it was, that's like, okay, definitely interested in that. I'd be curious to see like if so there's several jokes I could make about this, many of which I do not probably want to make on this podcast, but
No, go for it. Worst case scenario, I cut it.
Well, no, I mean, like, the thing that popped in my head is, okay, so is there a Star Wars version of Jesus' crucifixion? So...
Yeah, it was the murder of the younglings.
I mean, maybe,
oh,
in a way.
God.
No, wait, that's Abraham.
That probably is Abraham, actually.
Yeah, like, maybe in a way, like, we're one Jedi kind of, like, to make Jedi continue to be a thing, like, sacrificing themselves. I don't know.
Yeah, but no, like, I'd be very into this. I'd also be curious in the timeline, if for no other reason than one of the things that Star Wars that never gets talked about that bugs the shit out of me is that, as far as I can tell, Star Wars as a whole in its universe has been in a technological lockout for literally thousands of years. So I'd be curious as to see if that technological object was still a thing 25,000 years ago.
No lightsabers, only swords.
That would be
Just
something.
imagine Star Wars with regular ass swords.
That'd be something, isn't it? It's like there's a fight between dark users. They have katanas and shit.
When we finally get paper.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like, it's, like, discovered because, like, I don't know, one dude's about to get axed, and he just, like thinks to stop the person from chopping his head off. And it's just, like, everyone's like, what is going on? Oh, my gosh.
Witchcraft.
Yeah. To burn the witches.
But yeah, those movies were the main thing, to me at least.
Yeah.
We got some new descriptions of the Acolyte. It's being described as Frozen meets Kill Bill?
Okay. That sounds either really great or really bad.
Yeah, it's set in the High Republic era. They debuted a whole timeline with like 7 distinct eras of stuff. Lars Mikkelsen is going to be back as Grand Admiral Thrawn, having previously voiced him in Rebels. Now he's in live action, so that's a neat thing. Jude Law is apparently playing a Jedi in Skeleton Crew. A trailer was released at Celebration, but not to the public, so we didn't get that one. Yeah, there was other stuff, but like I said, Star Wars is no longer...
Like, isn't there another movie, too, or show, or something? Like, Star Wars Eclipse? I don't know if you've seen that at all.
Eclipse?
Yeah. Like, see, that's what I mean. Like,
game.
This is something that's been, like...
Okay.
Is it?
Yeah, no, Eclipse is the game that was, I think in the last few months, they said it's been delayed indefinitely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they didn't talk about that one.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure, because it, like, had the feel of, like, a movie, but, yeah. That's why I was like, this was, like, a year and a half ago that it was, like, produced, so I was like, I don't know if they talked about it.
Trust me, I've been trying to pay attention to that one, because I am very interested in that game.
Yeah.
No, it was a thing of, like, they said it's like, okay, they're still making it, but it's on an indefinite hiatus. It's like, oh, well, that's lovely.
Oh, the Lando series is still in the works, apparently.
Really?
With Donald Glover.
I completely forgot that they were making that.
I would
right?
enjoy that.
So yeah, because so much shit.
Yeah, it's like too much. Like, they're putting too much on their platter or their plate. They should just really be headstrong and focused on, putting out something and actually putting it out, not just saying they're going to do it.
And of all things, the movie that is still happening that was previously announced is Taika Waititi's.
Oh, really? Okay.
I'm conflicted.
Yeah, what is that?
He's the guy who made Ragnarok, Jojo Rabbit,
Okay.
What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh, okay.
The movie, not... I don't think he was involved in the show, really. He might have been. But no, they confirmed his happening a while ago, and then nothing happened, and apparently it's still happening.
They said it's going to happen, then it not really happening, but then now it's happening, but then it's not going to happen, but it's going to happen.
Well,
so everything Star Wars these days.
Yeah, pretty much. I want that movie to come out, but at the same time, I am kind of afraid of what happens, because Taika Waititi is no doubt a very talented individual. Jojo Rabbit is by far and away like one of my favorite movies in recent years. By the way, if you've never seen the movie, do not watch the day before Mother's Day.
Terrible idea.
Terrible idea. So, but it's like a thing like, okay, the man clearly has immense talent, but it always seems like his movies are very like polarizing of if they're going to be like good or not that good.
Yeah.
Well, most of his movies are fine. It's mostly just his Thor work that's shit. But since that's the more mystical sci-fi genre stuff, that's the stuff I'm worried about.
True. Yeah, I don't know.
Especially because apparently part of why it's taking a while is that he doesn't want anyone else helping with the script.
Oh, no.
I mean, if it flops, then we know who to blame.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
Like,
if he writes and directs...
There's only one finger to point at that point.
Fair. Alright, this news section has really gone on pretty long. Let's get into trailer time. And since we're at Star Wars, we might as well start with Ahsoka.
Yeah.
I am significantly less interested in Ahsoka and significantly more interested in these Star Wars Rebel connections that are being shown. Like,
I haven't even watched Rebels, which I'm gonna have to fix before August. I haven't even finished I didn't get through season 1 of Clone Wars.
Clone Wars is long, so I don't blame you there. Rebels is... I mean, I've watched bits and pieces of Rebels. I haven't really watched all of it. That would be something to get at our mutual friend Jeff about. But from the bits I've seen, it seems like a very good time.
Yeah, what is Rebels on? Like, where can I watch that?
Disney Plus.
Disney Plus. It was originally on Disney XD when that channel still existed.
Yeah.
Haha, those were the days.
I mean...
Remember when it was Toon Disney?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That just took me back. I, shrunk into a child looking at a big TV. But I mean, I don't know. I've kind of not got Disney Plus for a while, but I feel like this is gonna be like when this kind of gets going. I think it's gonna be another thing so that I can like watch all the things that I haven't really been able to. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it's really cool. I know my aunt, she really loved the Clone Wars because she's like kind of like me in the sense of how Anakin was an innocent boy that these Jedis took in and, you know, have the same kind of like mindset of he was innocent and the Jedi are trash. But
oh yeah, they fucked him up.
Yeah.
Yes,
I mean,
they did.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's just like I really want to watch Clone Wars too after seeing this because I know like she was a really big part in that. So you can kind of like get a little bit more feel of like who she is. Because
yeah,
I'm going in kind of like blind with this because I don't know much, but that trailer was awesome. It was pretty well put together. I'm a sucker for the dark side too. So seeing, I think the one person was called Shin Hati, like the dark side chick. She like, I don't know, just the way that her movements and stuff like that. I was like, all right, this is gonna be pretty cool.
I know they're adversaries for sure, which means they're probably dark side because Ahsoka's still light aligned, even if not really a Jedi as far as I understand it. But my understanding is limited because again, never watched much of Clone Wars, never watched any of Rebels. Their lightsabers aren't red; they're orange.
Yeah, they're like a shade, like a very weird shade.
So that has me wondering what the hell's going on with that.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll find out. That's just the part that's most interesting to me because, again, haven't watched what's leading up to this, and I know what it's leading up to because there's the whole. I'll admit it's a little tiresome. The bit of, oh, the Jedi are done. There aren't many of us left. When okay, first of all, bullshit. Every single project that comes out, there's a new fucking surviving Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, there's more Jedi who survived Order 66 than you can shake a stick at. Second, then you got David Tennant's robot character saying maybe it's time to start it all again. And it's like, oh, you mean like Luke's doing? That we know is destined to fail?
Wait.
Because the sequel movies?
Wait, that was David Tennant?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, I'm gonna be real. I'm probably gonna watch it just for that alone.
Yeah, like
fair.
when I was looking over the cast, I even saw that Hayden was going to be Darth Vader. So I guess Darth Vader's going to be in this?
That would make... Wait a minute. No, that would... he's probably a hallucination or something. Or a force projection or something.
I don't know. But it said his name, and I was like, what? And it said
he's kind
Darth
of dead
Vader.
by this point, I think.
And I was like,
yeah.
what?
Well, yeah, because this is taking place. Yeah, this is taking place in the same timeline as Mandalorian, and Darth Vader is very dead. So it's probably like force projection or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just looking at all
or
the cast.
flashback.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, bringing it back.
So it comes out in August. I'm marginally excited. I'm treating most Star Wars projects with trepidation and just all right. Hit me with it.
Yeah, heaping loads.
I still
of
haven't
salt.
watched Andor.
Yeah, like the biggest grains of salt ever. Can we trust what is being told to us?
So much salt, I'm dehydrated after one lick of it. We also got a second trailer for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. I remembered the subtitle this time. Good.
It's good. It is good.
Sorry, go ahead.
I don't know, it's one of those things where it's like, I think the trailer is good, but I also don't have a lot to say about it, other than loved the bit at the end where it's like, all stations, stop Spider-Man, and it's just like, you? It's like,
yeah, the meme,
like, oh,
dude. Yeah.
I was just like, oh, shut up.
Yeah, Yeah.
No, I love that.
Yeah. It's a cool
that-
little nudge to that, making fun of themselves in a way.
Yeah.
A lot of Easter eggs. I love the appearance of Mayday Parker, especially in super cute baby form.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And then at the end too, like the therapist being like, "Let me guess, your uncle died." Like,
Okay,
I'm like,
that one feels too much like a Rick and Morty joke
yeah.
to me,
I was like,
you know?
jeez. Super blunt. It's like a Spider-Man therapist telling another Spider-Man, like, what? Like, I don't know.
At the risk of overusing the easy punching bag for comedy as a Rick and Morty joke, that feels like a Rick and Morty joke. But there's that. I'm petty, so my favorite part of the whole thing is them dunking on the MCU as Earth 616 crowd by saying, "Don't even get me started on Doctor Strange and the little nerd back on Earth 199999."
Yeah.
Because that's the MCU's official designation, but Kevin Feige seems to want to say it's Earth 616, and to her credit, Miss Marvel actress Iman Vellani keeps getting into arguments with him about it, saying, no, it's not 616, it's 199999. Admittedly, Spider-Verse is a little hypocritical about this because they tried to say that Miles' universe is 616, and this is one of those things where only nerds care,
Yeah.
but it's also one of those things where, why even bother? Because the only people who are going to catch it are nerds, and nerds are going to get mad because it's wrong.
Yeah.
I love everything about that because I was imagining when he said that, it's just like, man, this is going to be how, like, because this is something I've gotten into, is like, is this going to be like how car people get into arguments about chassis codes on cars? It's like, what's the best S chassis?
Probably.
The S13, the S14, the S15. I had someone at work ask me, like, in regards to, like, games and whatnot, why don't they use those like, chassis codes in games? I was like, because no one gives a shit. Only nerds like us do. Like, it's like, we're the only ones that care, and even that's stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's actually 9999 at this point.
Yes.
Yeah.
I once had someone who asked someone else at work, it's like, is there an AE86 in this game? It's like, you mean a Toyota Corolla? It's like, yeah, you're the first person I see who knows that. I was like, yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Then why would you say it in the most complicated way that nobody knows?
Yeah. Like,
yeah.
It's the base of what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like,
There was one bit of dialogue in the trailer that doesn't seem very smooth and doesn't make a lot of sense, and it's talking about you have a choice between saving one person or saving the world, and then Miles says, I can do both, Spider-Man can do both, not every time, and then Miles boots back with, what about Uncle Ben? It's like, yeah, Uncle Ben is the time!
Yeah, Uncle Ben
Uncle
is
Ben is the
literally
direct
the time.
refutation of your point.
Yeah.
He's the you are example. He's the Trump codifier of the counter argument against you.
Yeah. To make you even be.
So I feel like that's two different conversations stitched together to try to sound like something profound for a trailer, but it ends up not sounding like anything.
Mm-hmm.
The real curious thing is, they teased that the Spot was going to be the main villain, but I'm now not sure if that's the case.
Yeah.
It seems more like it's Miles versus a bunch of other spiders.
Yeah, well, I think, like, the way that it was, like, kind of portrayed was that he's, like, trying to stop something that they're, like, and immediately, like, this needs to happen, and he's going against it. Like, no, I can do both, or I can save the day in every way. And they're like, no, you can't, and they're trying to stop him. I don't know.
Yeah, that was the vibe I was getting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I kind of got the similar thing. It's like, why do I get the feeling that it's like something bad is going to happen? It's like, no, you need to sit here and watch this so you can learn. I was like, if this is where this goes, and all of these spider people kind of suck.
Yeah.
I've seen some speculation that maybe the conflict is going to be based around the Spot since he's got portal-based powers.
Yeah.
Like, maybe something goes out of control and threatens the multiverse, and the Spider Council, or whatever you want to call it, wants to put the Spot down, but Miles is advocating. Basically, No Way Home. Fuck, if this is No Way Home again.
Yeah.
I'll be a little disappointed.
Yeah.
That's probably where all the speculation's coming from. Everybody was just like, what if No Way Home, but again, and with Miles?
And with comic book art style.
Yeah.
And also a lot of pointing.
A lot of pointing. One thing
I love that so much.
Yeah, the one thing that was, like, interesting, I mean, they happen at both of the trailers ending, but, like, having a PS5 advertisement, like, is that why? I mean, I guess it's because
Right,
it's Sony. But
Yeah,
are they
'cause
making
Sony...
a game out of this too, or?
Well, also the PS5 Insomniac game Spider-Man is confirmed to be in this movie.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I thought it was just because like Sony still mostly owns Spider-Man.
No, yeah.
Well, yeah, and also they're the ones making this movie.
I guess put advertisement where you can, where people will watch it. But
There was also another advertisement released that had footage from the 3 live-action Spider-Man continuities and said or something like prepare for Spider-War or something stupid. And that's just fueling speculation that Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland are all showing up.
that'd be cool if they have like a cameo or something, like they kind of pop into it.
Especially because they already referenced Tom Holland at least, so...
Yeah.
No, true, yeah.
It should happen.
Shall we move on to Indiana Jones?
We can. Yes.
Sure.
Alright. This got my interest way more than the previous trailer did.
Yeah. Why would you say that?
Well, okay, so full disclosure, I haven't seen every Indiana Jones movie. I've seen, I think, 2 of them, maybe I don't even remember how many I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not the biggest fan in the world, and I don't know, I feel like Old Man Indiana Jones is kind of stretching it.
Yeah. I think this is like the chapter end. Like, this is the end of the whole entire thing for sure. More or less, it's with this one, it's like they're even bringing up the past because you see like young Indiana Jones in it. So yeah, I mean Harrison Ford's like 80 years old, so I hope there's nothing else going on after this. But just like you, I remember watching them, but not to the fullest. So
Yeah.
like I would have to rewatch them if that's something that's needing to be done before this movie comes out.
No, there was a huge running gag I had going with my friends where before we had the title of this, I would come up with every single way I could to call this movie Indiana Jones, he's too old for this. Like, Indiana Jones and the busted hip, Indiana Jones and the missing dentures, Indiana Jones and the early bird special, Indiana Jones and the visit from the grandkids, Indiana Jones and the life alert, Indiana Jones and the mystical walking stick, Indiana Jones and the Shady Oaks retirement home. I could go all day, but I won't.
Get up. Yeah. I've fallen and I can't get up. Like, just like
Indiana Jones and the late Social Security payment.
I mean, dude, like Harrison Ford legitly survived a plane crash too. This dude's pretty epic, but I don't know. There's a lot of action going on in this trailer, so I think that's pretty cool. Like, I don't know.
And it sounds like potential time travel, I guess?
Yeah, like, I don't know.
God.
Either that or just flashbacks or, like, I don't know.
Well, not just that, but the fact that it's called the Dial of Destiny, and the fact that that one guy played by Mads Mikkelsen said that they can erase, like, the mistakes Hitler made or something.
Yeah. So, yeah, I guess, like, that device or that thing that we see in the trailer is, like, I don't know, a time-traveling device.
Or a rewinder or something.
Yeah.
It's a time turner.
A
time turner. It's the Harry Potter
Time
reboot.
turner.
It's come to haunt us.
But yeah, I mean, this trailer like is really packed and it like said a lot of things. And sometimes I don't like that in trailers when they kind of like put too much information into it, because then it's almost like you're getting like the Cliff Note version, like summary of what the movie.
Yeah.
So like you're not, I don't know, when I feel like a trailer should just be like a reveal or a sample, like maybe like one line from the movie, like extended out and like a couple clips. It's like kind of, I don't really like that whole aspect of like trailers. That's why sometimes I don't like watching trailers, because I'm like, I know this is going to either be good or bad, but I just want to experience it.
True.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
I also really like the line of, you stole it, then you stole it, then I stole it. That's capitalism.
Yeah.
It's like, well, that's a little on the nose.
I feel like it's like when Disney made the Dumbo movie about the over-commercialization of a product. The thing being the product is actually a living thing with feelings and what have you, and that this is a gross thing to be doing. And it's like, really, Disney? Over-commodification is bad? Really? That's the hill you're gonna go for with this Dumbo movie?
I'm pretty sure you're sitting on that hill. Like,
yeah, it's been sitting on that hill for nearly 100 years, guys.
That horse better be alright.
Yeah.
I mean,
if he rode that horse into that subway tunnel and it dies, Indiana Jones has lost all my respect.
That's true.
One thing I think they did pretty nice though in the trailer is the music, how they like remastered like the original sound of like the original Indiana Jones. I kind of like when they do that.
The revisit of the theme itself is cool. I'm not a huge fan of how they mash it up with Sympathy for the Devil.
Oh.
Yeah, that bit was weird. It's like, I was just like, okay, Sympathy of the Devil's not a bad song choice, and then, like, transitioning into the Indiana Jones motif is like, oh, I don't know how I feel about that.
Especially because it wasn't just a straight transition. They kept Sympathy for the Devil playing over parts of it, too.
Oh, really?
It's not a great mishmash.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I didn't really catch that.
Like, it'd be like, da 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 da. Wow!
Yeah. Yeah, that was a bit jarring.
So by the end, when it's just the Indiana Jones theme, I'm like, oh, finally, there's no more Sympathy for the Devil in this.
Yeah. But yeah, it looks packed with action. It looks like there's a lot gonna be happening in this one.
Definitely. So that would just leave my second most anticipated movie of the year, Greta Gerwig's Barbie, which we got a new trailer for.
Yeah.
I love this. I love everything about this. I don't understand. I couldn't explain it to you if I wanted to. But everything about this is just so ridiculous. And it's so disturbing in the, why are they all Barbie and Ken?
Mm-hmm.
Why is there just a sign that says real world this way? Why does a car do the giant flip?
Yeah, I wonder if they're gonna do the thing like they realize they are just toys or something. Is there gonna be a part in that where they kind of like, that's why this weird stuff's going on. That's why your name is Barbie and my name's Barbie.
And that's why none of us know what boyfriends and girlfriends do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that part killed me because it's like, I want you to come over tonight.
Yeah.
It's like, because why? Because we're boyfriend and girlfriend and do what? And I love Margot Robbie's just like kind of blank, dumb look that she does. It's so great, and Ken's just like, I actually have no idea. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah.
But like, his expression doesn't change. It's not a oh shit, I don't know. It's just a, now that you mentioned it, I don't know. But it's not concerning to me in the slightest.
Yeah, deer in headlights, just like blank, like nothing going on.
Yeah.
No thoughts, head empty.
Yeah, she's great. She's a great actress.
This movie is the epitome of no thoughts, head empty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For real.
Did you bring your roller skates?
Yeah,
I literally go nowhere without them.
I was just like, I need a lot more context with that.
Yeah, I think more or less it was like a thing that was like packed in his package, like he always had. Or something, you know what I mean? Like in his like box when you bought Ken, he had.
Oh yeah, maybe he's Rollerblader Ken.
Yeah. Oh yeah, maybe he's the version.
He was a skater boy. She said, "See you later, boy."
Yeah.
Watch that. I'm calling it now. That's going to be an important plot device in the movie.
The rollerblades. Oh, there's one of two ways this goes. It's either absolutely pivotal or it's not important at all, and whichever one is fine by me.
Yeah. I just wonder how, like, what they're gonna do with the movie. I guess they're just gonna basically poke fun at the fact that they're all, like, Barbies and Kens, and, like, I don't know, maybe there'll be sort of, like, a love story going on, but I'm just trying to figure out what's gonna happen in this,
I need to watch Greta Gerwig's other films, and maybe I'll get an idea.
Right.
Because I've never seen any of them.
What's other ones that he's done? Do you know?
She's also done... Lady Bird, I think. Oh, hold on, I'm looking this up to confirm because I just looked this up last night to remind myself, and then I forgot it anyway. So films that she's actually directed are Nights and Weekends, Lady Bird, and Little Women. She's also directing the live-action Disney remake of Snow White. No, wait, she's not directing. She's a writer on that one.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So Barbie's only her fourth actual directing thing, but she does have writer credits on other ones as well.
I mean, I think this will be kind of a hit too, because just the fact that like my age or our age, it's pretty much during our growing up, they had a lot of Barbies and Kens, and it was really big during our times as a kid. So like now we're grown up, so it's like, oh, Barbie, yeah. Just having that nostalgia, almost.
Yeah, I'd like to point out I'm a 95% straight white guy and is pushing 30, and I'm very excited for the Barbie movie.
I mean, my only problem with the Barbie movie at this point is that it's coming out the same weekend as Oppenheimer. And it's like, God, I can't believe I am having such a hard time deciding between two movies that are on so extreme opposite ends of the respective movie spectrum. Yeah. And it's like,
I mean, that's why you get that pass.
Easy choice for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I might just like bite it and do a double feature for that weekend, but damn.
If I had time, I might join, but I don't know that I will.
Yeah.
No, I'm so looking forward to this.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I mean, it should be a good time. I mean, the cast is great, so, I mean, I think it would be...
The other 5% is if Chris Evans wants to make out, in case you were wondering. Just figured I'd throw that out there in case Chris Evans ever listens to this.
Yeah, right?
No pressure.
Just throw it out there.
Oh.
I might remove that whole bit. Now it's awkward.
Oh, dear.
No, I'm keeping it.
Yeah.
So I was gonna go over the top 5 of this weekend's box office, but this is pushing it, and I couldn't really get super solid numbers, so I'm just gonna say, Super Mario Bros. Movie, highest grossing movie of the weekend. It's also the highest global animated opening weekend of all time.
Wow.
And it's the biggest opening for 2023, having beat Ant-Man and the Wasp. Wow. Currently sitting at about $377 million worldwide, and against a $100 million budget. There's probably sequels coming.
Oh, yeah.
Has it taken the record for, like, the best opening weekend for a video game movie?
Yes, that too.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if it did it for just the animated, right? You said animated?
Yeah, it did for animated. It has the second highest domestic opening weekend behind just The Incredibles 2, I think.
Wow. That is crazy. That's cool.
To be fair, that one had 15 years of sequel. Oh, you meant the Mario movie coming out just behind that. Yeah, that is nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
It's cool because it kind of, touched based on, every kind of, almost like culture. Everyone knows Mario, but on top of it...
It's so ubiquitous that you know what? We might as well just get into it. The Super Mario Brothers movie is what we all saw this weekend.
Yahoo!
And it is amazing.
It is so much better than it has any right to be.
Mamma mia.
Let's a go.
Let's a go, Mario.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Yeah, it was awesome. It was, I mean, honestly, that's one that, like, it comes out on Blu-ray, I'm buying it, like, instantly. No doubt.
Oh, yes.
I might even see it again in theaters.
I might see if there's, because I was like, I don't really collect movies. If I do, I try to get steelbooks. I might try and see if there's a good-looking steelbook of that whenever it's...
there should be. I mean, they have steelbooks for, like, things that aren't even that awesome. They should definitely have a steelbook for that.
Yeah. No, this movie is
so
good.
Yeah.
I have some notes, and I can see why critically it's not doing so great, but from the perspective of somebody who likes the Mario games and just wanted a good movie about them, I got that. I was expecting a mediocre movie that I got a little bit of enjoyment out of here and there, but mostly wasn't going to be fond of. And what I got instead was, I had a great fucking time with this movie, and while I do have some issues, God, it's just so much fun. You can get away with a lot in my book with style.
Yeah.
Yes.
And while this isn't usually the style I am talking about, usually it's more like Persona 5 smoothness with jazz and shit, this is so a Mario... This has such Mario all over it that it's like, okay, this is stylish enough that it makes up for a lot in terms of what it's trying to be.
I mean, for me, being on kind of the opposite spectrum of you, Cody, because I haven't really played any of the Mario games. I've never, well, at least never for any significant amount of time, owned any Nintendo console. I was completely blown away as well. Like, it's a great movie. It's a fun movie. It is dripping with style. It's dripping with a lot of love, in the sense that there's a lot of points in the movie that if you grew up along the games or like with Nintendo or anything like that, there's a lot of like really well done callbacks that don't feel like they're phoned in. Pardon the pun, because one of those callbacks is a literal ringtone. That was actually the bit that got me, or it's just like, oh, we're in for a good time. I don't know if it's good. I'm probably not going to talk about it now until we talk about spoilers a little bit, because we'll probably dive more into Easter eggs there. But holy hell, there's like a lot of those good moments like that, and it's all just so well done with such wonderful blending of all the elements together.
Yeah.
To where it doesn't like take you out of it at any point. If there's anything to knock against it, the overall like plot is a little thin, but I don't think you would go. I personally don't think it's like that's the thing to go to this movie for.
No, you don't. You don't go to this movie for the plot. I will say, all in all, it feels maybe a little rushed, but better to be a little short than too long.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a negative that's actually kind of a positive.
Yeah.
For the Super Mario Brothers movie, it's not really about them so much as it's very much a more... I don't think it's a spoiler to say it's more of a Mario and Peach movie.
Oh, yeah.
But those are my main real problems with it, and they're not insubstantial, but the movie's just so damn fun that it really doesn't matter to me.
Yeah. It was so well put together in the sense of like really grabbing the feel of every kind of Mario like game. So the hats off for that one for sure, I think.
Yeah, and I'm so impressed by the cast because when this cast got announced, I was livid about most of it. I was pointing and going, except for Jack Black as Bowser, this all sounds fake. This sounds like if you were watching a sitcom, and that sitcom had a throwaway joke about making a Mario movie, this would be the cast.
Yeah, like,
in a fake sitcom version of this movie. And yet, they all knock it out of the park.
Yeah.
Seth Rogen, Keegan-Michael Key, Fred Armisen, Kevin Michael Richardson as Kamek, Jack Black as Bowser, obviously, Anya Taylor-Joy as Peach, even Chris Pratt as Mario, who is, I think, the lesser of all of them, in terms of voice acting in this movie, is still fine. And he actually sells some pretty good emotional moments for Mario.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they killed it. They really took the feel of, each character and how they kind of play. Of course, Jack Black just really embodied being Bowser. But yeah, I was like not disappointed with really any of the voice actors. They all did awesome.
You could have had Jack Black running around in a Bowser suit, and I would have said, nope, no notes, perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like every moment of Jack Black being Bowser was just like, and I'm just gonna steal the show completely from everyone around me.
Yeah.
Just a masterpiece.
Basic rundown is Mario and Luigi are plumbers. They're brothers, obviously. Mario and Luigi Mario. No relation. But they decide to start their own business. It's not going too great. But then through some happenstance, they end up in the Mystical Mushroom Kingdom. Well, Mario does. Luigi ends up in the Darklands ruled by Bowser, who's planning an assault, having obtained the all-powerful superstar that will let him conquer the world, I guess. So Mario and Peach team up to go get help to stop him.
Yeah. And that's why I think it was more like a, Mario and Peach kind of movie than it was Luigi. Just because of that scenario. Maybe there'll be one where it was like, Mario 64, where they're gonna go save Peach. But yeah.
To their credit, using Luigi as the damsel in distress for this movie actually works really, really well.
Kind of is Luigi, in a way, yeah.
In the sense of, Mario and Luigi already have that built-in relationship, so Mario is going to go to hell and back for his brother. Whereas, having not met Peach before, he wouldn't necessarily be guaranteed to do the same thing for her. Second, it lets you develop Peach as a character and lets her set up that friendship with Mario, so that in future movies, if she ends up captured for whatever reason, we know why Mario wants to save her. But she's also gotten a good showing, so it doesn't make her seem completely useless if she gets captured later on down the line in a sequel. So actually, you know what? Well done. Very well played, Illumination. Good job.
Yeah.
That's a nice way to avoid some unfortunate pitfalls of a Mario movie. Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong is so good, too.
Yeah. I mean, it was fun. It was hilarious hearing his laugh, though.
He's just such a dick.
He is a massive dick.
Yeah.
The Mario Kart bit, which the whole Rainbow Road scene, which is in the trailer, so that's not a spoiler. Great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That
like
was awesome.
Chef's Kiss.
Oh my god. Speaking of Chef's Kiss, the best thing about this movie, I think, is the use of Mario music.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was gonna gush about that in the spoiler section.
Oh, that's not a spoiler. That's not a spoiler at all.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know.
a
Like
couple
today's
of-
day and age, a lot of
spoiler.
times they'll like
Well-
they'll throw in like, you know, popular music now, you know, like as a filler for like music.
Right. And, okay, yeah, some exact uses of music are probably spoilers that I won't go into just yet,
Yeah.
because some of them are related to really funny music bits. But, in general, I did not realize how... I don't know if I'm going to be able to rewatch the first 2 Sonic movies now, because they don't use the Sonic music for the most part.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Yeah.
I'm joking mostly for effect,
Yeah.
but boy howdy, it makes such a huge difference hearing music associated with the games in the movie, and it just adds that extra layer of knowing that they really gave a shit about it,
Mhm.
and that they're fans of the material, and that they know that the movie is being made, yeah, mostly for kids and the parents who are bringing them to see it, but the parents are probably fans, so throw in that, because they'll recognize it and they'll appreciate
Yeah.
it. It's just, as somebody says in the movie itself, it's cinema.
I mean, Cody's right in that the couple of the bits that came to my mind as far as the music are spoilers for some very funny moments, but for the bits of music I did recognize, I did love how it was distinctly like the classic Mario music, but with the orchestral big movie mixes that you would expect in like a major production. And it's just like, oh geez, these people are officially not fucking around.
Yeah, because I mean, even
Like-
back in the day, like music and stuff like that was 80% of sometimes the game. Like, if you had a bad sound to your game, it was like people are going to turn it off. They're not going to want to play it because if it's like something that's so bland, they're like, oh, okay, the gameplay is okay, but like hearing the same little tune over and over and over again, it doesn't sound appealing. Like, I'm done with this game.
I'm not fully convinced that Sonic the Hedgehog would still be alive as a franchise today if it had bad music.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's true. Shoot, several of the games that are in my collection are because like one of my favorite franchises being Ace Combat, I am into largely because of the music in the series. So good music goes a long way, and the Mario movie has
That's how you
gangster
get your music.
I mean, yes, you're not incorrect.
That's how you
are
get your
not
music.
wrong.
Yeah. You usually take it from games you play.
Yeah, and then I just branch out to see what I can find that's similar, and that introduced me to other artists. So that's not totally incorrect.
And that's awesome.
But
that's cool.
yeah, but it's like, no, obviously there were a lot of, because I didn't grow up with Mario, there were definitely songs I didn't recognize, but I was still like, the production quality and the quality of the music is just like, God, I love everything about this. I want to see the movie a second time just on that alone for the most part.
Yeah.
Do we got anything else that's not a spoiler, do we think?
I know, right? We're all
I
like,
don't think
at
so.
the edge of our chair.
Yeah, I don't think so, other than go see the movie.
Yeah, do it.
100%.
I mean, yeah, there's no doubt in my mind that no one will be like, this was a bad experience.
Yeah.
If you do, that's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
So, that being said, if you don't want to be spoiled on details for the Super Mario Bros. Movie, make sure to click away now, because we're getting into spoilers in 3, 2, 1.
So, if I may start...
I don't even know where to start. Yeah, go for it.
Oh, I do. I love how they explain the accents, like, in the first 10 minutes of the movie. I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
Well done! Because that was the number one complaint when, like, they announced Chris Pratt was cast and when they showed the first trailer. And it's like, you know what? That is an amazing way to get around that.
Yeah.
That was good.
They didn't do a text crawl like, Palpatine has returned. They gave an actual lucrative reason. It's like, yeah, we played that up for our commercial in the real world. It's like, you know what? Fair. I cannot argue against that.
Yeah, I'm just an Italian plumber in New York, dude. Like, I like that they were like, you don't think it was too much? And then, like, the actual voice actor is like, no, it was perfect.
It was perfect.
That was so cool.
So many cameos, not just Mario stuff, but also other things, like Kid Icarus showing up.
Mm-hmm. That was
as a game that Mario's playing.
Mm-hmm. That was really cool seeing that. And like even he was playing Jumpman too inside the restaurant.
Yeah, because that's what the guy voiced by Charles Martinet was playing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a big part of this movie. Honestly, that's another reason why I want to watch it a second time, or at least buy the DVD and then like just pause it. Is there's a lot of references, like not just to Mario, but to other like Nintendo IPs, and I'm more than confident that there's loads of them in very specific scenes that I don't recognize. But the ones I did
the Kong Stadium alone.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. even when he was with Toad walking around, like all that was going on, I was like trying to like take it all in, but there's just so much going on. I was like, I know I missed something.
Yeah, no.
And Toad is a great. It's not helped by the fact that Toad is being hilarious the entire time, just going, "Move out of the way, one side. This guy's brother is going to die imminently." I'm just clearing the way. He's going to be just fine.
For me, it's just I love that scene just because of like this shift in tone where he's like, "Excuse me, pardon the way, Major Adventure." Excuse me, this guy's brother's about to die. Get out of the way.
Yeah.
Your princess is in another castle.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
What was that a reference to?
So in the original Super Mario Brothers, when you beat Bowser in the first like Bowser Castle, Toad will say, "Thank you, Mario, but our princess is in another castle."
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I like the fact that they're like, yeah, like somewhere over there, like, you know, just like
she's in another castle.
Yeah, because that's like at work how like Jimmy made those little tags in the back of like our like stuff when it's out of stock. It's like, sorry, it's like in another castle. Like that's what it's like referring to.
Oh, okay.
Here's where I make a subtle plug to go check out Unlimited Video Games.
Do that, yes.
Do that, please.
The best.
Okay,
the best
that's
video game
cool.
Store.
100%.
But yeah, that's what it's pointing to. I like the fact that they used almost the ridiculous world of Mario as like a training course. Whenever is there like this platform that's swinging around and, you know, the platforms are going to the ground, like, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, this is just like a training course for, you know, something like real life scenario or something. I don't know.
Honestly, way more power-ups than I was expecting.
Oh, yeah.
I did not expect the ice flower. I didn't expect the mini mushroom.
The cat.
The cat suit. I mean, the cat suit was spoiled in, like, a clip or something.
Mm-hmm.
But I was kind of expecting just the cat suit, the super mushroom, the fire flower, and I'd heard the Tanuki suit was a thing, but I didn't see it, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah. And then the star, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But
in regards to the whole training course bit, she's like, "Oh, yeah, I mean, you'll get it eventually, but hey, Patrick Swayze's perfect." It's like, you got it on the first time, didn't you? I got it on the first try, but hey, I grew up here. And it's like, this is literally conversations people have with, like, people who have never touched these games versus people who are good at them.
You're just trying to make me feel better, aren't you? Is it working?
A little bit.
yeah. Hey, but he didn't.
Who's
give up.
he?
Yeah.
He's not important.
And then everyone cheers.
Everyone starts cheering. It's just like, damn. They just
This movie has so many lines that now live rent-free in my head.
Yeah.
Like, do human princesses find him attractive? They do if they have good taste!
Like,
or
literal
like,
bro moment.
So good.
Stop flexing your pecs, Dad. It's what they came here to watch. Like, look at everybody. Look at it. Yeah, that was awesome.
DK. All right, settle down, Diddy.
Oh, and then he says it's on like Donkey Kong. That was perfect.
The DK rap. Oh my god. Okay, it really sucks that they didn't credit composer Grant Kirkhope in the credits for this. That's a scummy move. Fix that shit, Nintendo.
Yeah.
Get this man the credit he deserves.
Yeah.
But holy shit, I did not expect the DK rap.
No,
I was hoping. I was praying. Never in my life did I think it would be answered.
Oh yeah. And then the
Jam with me.
The carts being built. That was cool. That was like
the fact that it's just the cart selection bit from Mario Kart.
Yeah, it's like the exact look.
Oh, No, that was like...
And a scroll wheel so you pick your parts.
And then press a big red A button.
Press the big red A button?
Yeah, it's A button.
The B
like, it's not
button's
even just
red.
a button, it's an A button, yeah.
Oh, yeah. No,
Points off for that. It's the wrong color.
But, like,
That's true.
that was...
Not wrong.
That entire sequence was, like, easily my favorite part of the whole movie. Just, like, them picking everything was just, like, I love everything about this, for me, I feel like is extremely ironic because up until a few months ago, I actually hated Mario Kart legitimately.
And then you learned how to drift.
And drifting's so much fun in these games, dude.
Yeah. Boosting it right.
Thanks to the store streams held every Thursday by Unlimited Video Games, now on Twitch. Make sure to check them out.
Woohoo. Yeah, and like Toad rolls up in that big old like.
Oh yeah, like
awesome.
It's a fucking.
Like he couldn't control it for a second. He's like,
Yeah, it's like like Toad's just in the bro-dozer. It's just like okay. I love and kind of with that because like one of the things that because Bowser sends his army to stop Peach, Mario, and the Donkey Kong army. And there's one person that he says that it's like literally a blue shell, like he's wearing a blue shell in a giant ass truck, eventually gets destroyed, and he's like, no, I'm not gonna let it finish this way. And then he turns into the blue shell, goes after Mario, and does the whole thing like spinning around and exploding over top of him. And I literally like in my seat, I'm going like, dude, fuck you. And I'm like, wow, that's the it's like it says everyone who gets hit by the blue shell.
Yeah.
Peak Mario Kart.
Yeah. I will say that was like one thing I kind of didn't like, the music that they chose for that scene, like where they're getting chased. It was almost like I felt like it was like a Lord of the Rings battle scene, like it, like the I don't know, it was like very. I don't know if you like, and when you watch it again, you'll kind of get what I'm saying. But like I don't know, that was the only thing that I was like, for music choice, they could have done something different. Like I don't know, Rainbow Road, like kind of like, they kind of did at the beginning, but I don't know. Then they turn it into. Like, oh, this is a battle going on, and almost turn it.
Well, yeah, because I don't feel like the Rainbow Road music is really...
But, like, maybe like a...
actiony enough.
Yeah, like, I don't know, like, a heavy metal version of it. I don't know, something to bring... I don't know, it just didn't... It felt out of place, is all. Like, it just didn't seem like it sat in that scene, or in the Mario world.
I think the only thing... Granted, I didn't really catch the music in building the Mario Kart portion, so I don't know if it was this, but in one of the Mario Kart games...
Wasn't it Thunderstruck?
Oh, yeah, it was
Thunderstruck.
Yeah,
like... I forget... Yeah, in one of the Mario Kart games, I forget which one, but I remember, like, in the menu music, it does a thing where the music gets progressively more upbeat the closer you get to actually starting the race. And I was like, oh, that would have been perfect for this. Maybe like a remix
like
of
it
that
started
too.
Off like that?
Yeah, like maybe to like either start it off like that or have it be like a more like rock remix, but still that same vibe. It's like, I feel like I would have preferred that more. But other than that. And then the other thing is that with all that it was showing, and especially with how it was set up, I feel like I don't think there's any way they could not have done it. But I kind of, when they showed Rainbow Road and all of them like jumping on it, it's like, man, this would have been so much better if they didn't show this in the trailers.
Yeah, then you kind of, you get it now. That's like, that was like saying for Indiana Jones, how it was like, too much being shown, but
yeah,
I don't know.
Rainbow Road would have been a really delightful surprise if we didn't know it was coming.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially with the build-up in the movie, where Mario's like, the ramp's about to run out, and that you'd have just enough time to go, wait, are they gonna... No.
Yeah.
No, of course they
And then
won't.
it happens. That's like when people like get up and start clapping, like, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like, I feel like that probably should have been kept, like, under the wraps, potentially. Oh god, what
Okay, as much as I give this movie shit for not giving Luigi enough to do, the bit at the end, where he uses the manhole cover as a shield to save Mario from Bowser's fire breath, touching.
Yeah. And then they show the little baby Mario and Luigi. That was so cute.
And Baby Peach!
And Baby Peach, who's
same Baby Peach too.
Super adorable, even if it has some very uncomfortable implications of her also getting isekai'd into the Mushroom Kingdom.
Yeah, as a baby. Yeah.
I do have a note here. That time I went through a giant green pipe and ended up in another world. Now on Crunchyroll.
I don't know, as far as like
Yeah.
smaller bits that come to mind, I did love, especially when like, because me and my other coworker Anthony, we were sitting next to each other in the theater, and we showed it different ways, but we both loved how when Luigi's phone started ringing and it was the GameCube startup sound. It's like, all right, that's pretty good. That's really good. Well done.
Yeah.
Even better because Luigi's Mansion,
Oh yeah.
which we got a couple nods to, I guess, but
Yeah.
Mhm.
I thought when he went inside, like, you know, with like the skeletons chasing him and stuff, I thought there was gonna be like some element of that, like where he was gonna get like freaked out, like he would close the door and then like, I don't know, some ghost would
Ghosts.
like kind of appear or something. But
Mhm.
yeah, Booze might have been more appropriate than Shy Guys, but
Shy Guys are pretty creepy though too, to be honest. Like, yeah.
True. I know it was already talked about before, but I did just in the general theme of using sound and music perfectly, because again I could like gush about that with this movie endlessly. During like you already talked about it, but like during the bit where Bowser's just like, come here, jam with me, and his second in command, whose name or whatever I forget, comes up, and Bowser just starts Kamek, as Bowser just starts going na 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 na, and it's like, oh, okay. I was just like, ha!
he's just playing the Mario Underground theme. It's the
clean.
best shit ever.
Yeah, it's just
So
It's
clean.
just, I died.
As
It's
he's like talking to him, like, that's
it's
so
just-
great.
It's like da na 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 na. It's like, all right, okay, movie.
And Kamek's playing like the coin noises and sound effects.
Yeah,
Dude,
like,
like-
as you're playing it, yeah.
It's like okay, movie, we get it. You're going hard.
Yeah.
No, they really went hard with the song Peaches.
Oh yeah,
Which is on
dude.
Spotify, by the way.
Yeah, there's
And is
even a
also
music
apparently
video.
eligible for an Oscar nom.
Please.
Yes. If it makes
It
that,
won't.
that'd be so epic.
It won't get it, but
It
Yeah.
would be great if it did.
Just the fact that it would be up there though, like, you know, one of the like ones that they list off, that'd be epic.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's too ridiculous and it's too tongue-in-cheek and it's too goofy where they'd ever consider it, but...
I think it's too ridiculous to not consider it.
Yeah, I mean, Jack Black did a whole music video too with.
But it's not cinema.
Yeah.
This is your cinema.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Even though it was shown in one of the trailers, I forget the name of the blue star, but like even in the
Lumily.
even in the theater where he goes, it's like, there is no escape. The only thing waiting for us is the sweet embrace of death. Everyone's just like, oh, come on, man. I was just like, okay, that's still funny.
Yeah.
It's like, I thought it'd be less funny in the theater. It's still really funny.
Yeah.
There is no sunshine, only darkness. And when he does it, he does like a little stardust flare.
Yeah. Honestly, all the lines coming from that dude, like, was perfect. Like, there's not one that was just like, okay, we get it.
Mhm.
It was perfect. Especially like, at the very end, like when it popped up, and I forgot exactly what happened. But do you guys remember?
All that's left is
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
It's over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's just,
Makes you want to play the saxophone, right?
yeah. Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and it's just
so
like,
good.
I got kind of scared. It's like, why is the Mario movie going all existential right now?
Yeah, I do love that. Like, you know, Bowser was like, "I'm gonna get her and have a wedding," and everyone's just like, "Wait, what?" really?
Yeah, the fact that the crux of his plan ends up being getting Peach to marry him.
Yeah, because they're all like thinking the same thing. Peach is thinking like, yeah, I don't think this is gonna work out very well. Like, that's no chance in hell. Like,
What if she says no, immediately gets flame blasted into a dry bones while his buddy standing next to him just gives him a look like, bro, what'd you expect?
Yeah.
yeah. But I love that. Like, that's the take. You know, that he wants to, you know, marry Princess, and will literally destroy worlds to have her.
If she says no, I will burn the Mushroom Kingdom in the ground.
Is like, okay, that I know that's his regular MO, but how are they going to do that in the movie? And then they just up and do it. It's like, okay, I guess like that.
Okay, you know what? Minor video game lore quibble time.
Mm-hmm.
I will not stand for the Donkey Kong Jr. erasure that went on in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Because, okay, so, in the movie, Donkey Kong is Cranky Kong's son.
Yeah.
In the games, although it's Mario, so you know, the lore flip-flops, but generally accepted in the games, Cranky Kong is the original Donkey Kong from the Donkey Kong game. He was Mario's pet, who was mistreated, went on a rampage. Mario stopped him. The current Donkey Kong is supposed to be his grandson, with another ape, Donkey Kong Jr., in between. Jr. hasn't been seen in years. I think the last time he showed up was in Mario Kart 64, or maybe it was the original. No, it was the original, I think.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So, I will not stand for this. Donkey Kong Jr. deserves to be represented just like everybody else.
Yeah.
You put Chunky Kong in there, you can get DK Jr.
Right.
What was that? What's the Kong name? One with the jacket?
Or Swanky Kong?
Swanky?
Yeah.
Swanky Kong. Yeah. They even threw him in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That gorilla's wearing a sports jacket.
I'm impressed. Nah, dude, Toad, he was perfect too.
Oh, yeah.
He killed it.
I'm not afraid of anything.
Yeah.
You think he's gonna use the frying pan to beat up the other Toads, and instead he just starts cooking?
Yeah. No.
Yeah. He's like, go. I like how, like, he, like...
Scramble it up.
Like, when he went into Mario, and he, like, kind of saluted or whatever, and they all, like, stood up straight, and, like... Wait, they're like, wait,
it
what?
takes him a second.
Yeah. Oh, and then the Toad that was, like, leading the meetings and stuff like that. Like, that voice
He sounds
actor.
like an honest trailer Toad.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
In a world where video game movies are starting to rise up.
Yeah. One princess to save it all.
I like how they built up Peach and Mario's mostly platonic with hints of potential romantic later down the line friendship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I think the way that, like, when he first was, like, there and she saw him, it wasn't so much like love at first sight. It was more like, there's another human. Like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. As
I love seeing this actual person. Yeah.
yeah.
Like, this is crazy.
No, like, I remember, like, when she was making a big deal, I was like, you're actually a human. It's like, wait, no, you're the only human in this universe, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay, I can understand why another human showing up would be a big deal then.
But then there's little hints of it, like when they're talking about in his world people have pet turtles, and it's like, come to Brooklyn sometime, I'll get you a pet turtle. And then Donkey Kong just rolls up with, bro, is this you flirting? This is painful.
Yeah.
The princess would never be interested in dating you. Yes, she would! I guarantee it!
Yeah.
It's like...
Toad trying to be a good wingman.
Yeah, good
Yeah,
wingman
for
for sure.
And they brush over it, but it's still like, okay, yeah, I could see this.
Yeah, same.
But also, if it doesn't, it's not a big deal, because really, Mario and Peach aren't canonically really much of a thing anyway. Don't at me, fanboys.
Yeah, like, in a way, like this movie does show it perfectly. Like, they become good friends, and just like any good friend, if they get captured or something like that, you would go try to save them. So it might be a thing where, yeah, Mario will, like, fall in love with the beautiful princess, but...
Voiced by Anya Taylor-Joy.
Yeah. But, like, yeah, I mean, yeah, you're not wrong, Cody.
Yeah, all in all, this was just way better than I was expecting.
Oh, yeah.
I can get why critically it's got such a low rating, which everybody's pointing at like, oh, it's got a 56% Rotten Tomato score. It's like, guys, okay, I know I'm guilty of this too, but settle the fuck down.
Does it really?
56... Yeah, but the thing is, 56%, it doesn't make it a 56% movie. It means roughly a little more than half of the critics who saw it thought it was a good movie. Yeah. And honestly, considering it's a video game movie aimed primarily for kids that runs an hour and a half long, made by the people who made Minions, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's certainly not the greatest movie made all year, I don't think, just in terms of being a movie.
Mm-hmm.
What it is it's a really good, fun adaptation of Mario that leans very heavy on the references and that more kiddie-ish humor.
Mm-hmm.
So I totally get why critics aren't going to say, yeah, this was great. They're going to say more like, this is pretty shallow and pretty short, and honestly, there's better things you can show your kids, and it's like, that's true.
Yeah.
But is there anything better that's out right now in the theater?
And the answer is no.
No.
Yeah. I mean,
Maybe
Wick.
John Wick, but
don't show your kids John Wick.
I mean, was there anything that was, like, too much, sexually explicit with John Wick? I don't think.
No, it's just...
There's a lot of violence.
It's just insanely violent, yeah.
Yeah.
One man gets his...
Dude, there's like...
I'm not gonna... You know what? That's spoilers.
That is
GTA is everywhere, like, yeah. But,
I like how it's just like, one man gets it! Wait a minute.
And it's
But,
like,
I mean,
and someone's like, you have multiple moments of that in every John Wick movie, so it doesn't really narrow it down.
No.
yeah. But running back to like the critics and stuff. I mean, Donkey kind of put it in a good way when it comes to like reviewing like games, like Video Game Donkey, the YouTuber.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Where like critics, like, who are these people? You know what I mean? I guess you like, is there a way in which you can see everyone who gave in like the Rotten Tomato bad score and good score, and you can kind of see what else they gave a good score and a bad score to? Like, how are they the American Idol judges of what is and what isn't good? I guess they got the job title to do it, but like when it comes down to it, I don't know, 56. I definitely don't think it's a 56.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, but that's the thing. It's not a 56. That just means about half of the critics who saw it liked it, which, yeah.
I'd say...
That tracks.
Yeah, I would say a 56% just from critics. It's one of those unfortunate things. I mean, thankfully it hasn't stopped this movie from, like, just raking in dough. But for a lot of movies, that would be enough to deter people.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Like...
But I think at this point, it's like, okay, but there's also so many wonderful like reviews for it, because I think that movie's still sitting at a 93% audience score with like hundreds of thousands of reviews. Within the critics score, because I did like look into it, the most common complaint that's listed is that, and I kind of alluded to this earlier, that the plot is like a little thin. It's like, you know what? It's one of those things where it's one of those weird ones where it's like, they are objectively correct, but I still disagree. Because it's like, yes, the plot is paper thin. That is completely accurate. That is a more than like reasonable complaint to levy at the movie. But it's also one of those things where it's like, yeah, what did you expect? It's a movie about Mario and Peach stopping Bowser. There's only really one direction it can go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna blame somebody for hoping for something a little more expansive, because the Mario games themselves are very bare bones. So I'm not gonna say it was wrong to hope that maybe they'd kick it up a notch and try to elevate it a little bit. But I also don't think there's anything wrong with what they did.
Yeah.
Is the main thing.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's also hard to really trust the aggregate scores on sites like Rotten Tomatoes, because sometimes the algorithm will take something that sounds like a positive review and skew it as a negative, or vice versa. When it's down the middle like that, it can be really hard for the system to gauge it.
That's true. I mean, to that extent, I will say, I guess one of the unfortunate things that comes with it, that both you and me have experienced, Cody, is how either positively or negatively what critics and also audiences say about a movie directly influences how much we want to see it. Although it's kind of weird for us, because the both of us have gone like, wait, this movie has both a 20% audience and critic score? Oh, we gotta go see it.
I gotta see this. Yeah, no, a lot of the times it has the reverse effect for us, where it's like, oh, this is getting lambasted by everybody?
Yeah.
Can't fucking wait.
Yeah. Let's just see how bad this is.
Oh, yeah.
with like actually having a mindset a little bit more than just the average, person watching a movie.
Well, yeah, because the average person watching a movie doesn't get how aggregate scores work in the first place. So
yeah, but I mean, for like the plot for the Mario movie was, there's a little bit going on. You know what I mean? They started off, they didn't have jobs, and then they're making their own thing. That's how they became these plumbers, or were doing the plumbing thing, and then they kind of go off in their ways, and Luigi gets lost, and Mario's just trying to find his brother, but then Bowser's trying to marry Peach, and I feel like there's quite a bit going on for the hour and a half that was there. So
yeah,
I get it, and that it wasn't like the main plot for it all wasn't like too heavy, but there's like a lot that was going on, or different like plots.
I guess the main thing is there aren't really character arcs in this. There are. Because Luigi doesn't get an arc. Luigi just goes from being a coward to not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's no real point where he has to confront that weakness. It just kind of changes. Mario, on the other hand, has all the makings of an arc, but doesn't actually change. It's just a case of he doesn't know when to give up, and steadily the environment that he's in becomes more and more conducive to not giving up. So, it's a case of like, I can also see where they find it shallow there, because for a movie called, again, the Super Mario Brothers movie, one kind of gets shortchanged.
Yeah, pushed
and
to
the
wayside.
other, who gets all the focus, doesn't really do an awful lot with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's another one where if your job is to look at the movie from a critical perspective, yeah, that's kind of a problem.
Yeah.
The upside is,
I feel
technically speaking, while I'd like to think of myself as a critic, I'm also just a guy talking about movies on a podcast for fun. So I don't have to hold myself to any higher standard.
I mean, that is more than half of anybody that, has a voice or thinks they have a voice is doing.
True, I would say.
Yeah. Plus, also, just to clarify, when I say the average person doesn't get how aggregate scores work, I'd also like to point out I'm also indulging in hypocritical humor because I too set entirely too much score by a Rotten Tomatoes percentage sometimes. So I also get caught up in the hype.
Again, we see bad movies if they have bad ratings.
Yeah. I mean, it's good.
It
not
excites
to be,
us.
It's good not to be like a yes man or this is a Mario movie. 100%. Yeah, this is the best movie ever. Of course, but yeah.
Thankfully, I haven't been seeing a lot of that. At least from the bits and pieces I've seen of like audience scores, I haven't really been seeing a lot of that. I think a lot of, because you do see that with like kind of like people trying to elevate movies every now and again. I think like for the ones I've read so far, the people who are giving it good scores are people who like genuinely liked the movie. And like legitimately be like, no, this is a good time. The writing style and all that doesn't feel like someone like just trying to make a quick 100% rating to elevate the movie upwards.
True.
No, it does its job of being a fun enough movie that you don't notice or don't really care about the technical filmmaking shortcomings.
Yeah, little bits.
We got anything else?
Yeah, say any closing thoughts.
Go watch this movie.
Yes, that.
Yeah. I'm probably watching it again at some point.
Yeah,
or
if I don't watch it again, I will definitely buy it physically.
Oh, last closing point. Mama freaking Mia. That thing was said way too many times in that movie. That's probably my one thing that I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, it was funny in the points that they did it. I mean, it wasn't that bad, but like, I don't know. It was just like, I don't know. I was thinking of doing a counter, and I didn't really count, but I think there was like 10 of them.
Guess we're gonna have to do a rewatch for the Mamma Mia counter.
That would be a fun thing to keep track. Oh, also, because we talked about this a little bit, props to this movie for actually dropping the title and having it not be corny.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. You know what? That goes a long fucking way for me. They had this movie end with somebody unironically saying, "Let's hear it for the Super Mario Brothers," and after everything the movie set up and went through, that did not feel corny.
Yeah.
That shit felt earned.
Yeah.
So well done there.
And I mean, last point is probably the end of it all, where you get the Godzilla, or no, not Godzilla. Alien?
I mean, basically, that's
whatever
be.
reference, yeah. That
You mean Yoshi?
Yeah, we're Yoshi. So
Godzilla.
Right? Which one was it? Was it Alien or Godzilla? What was it?
Oh, like the egg hatching.
The reference to it, right? Wasn't it like a scene where there's like one last egg and then it hatches?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Come to think of it.
Mm-hmm.
But
wow.
But yeah, I mean that's gonna be cool because I remember like seeing the Yoshis in the background and I was like, they're gonna do something with Yoshi now? Oh no, they're not really going to. So
there's no green.
Yeah.
It's like it's not a.
Was there no green Yoshi in the background?
Not in the crowd, no.
No, there wasn't.
Wow. I couldn't tell. Like it was like that's what I mean. Like that's why I want to see it again because there's so much that I feel like I didn't really see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's another one of those lore things where the green Yoshi is occasionally treated as unique / the main Yoshi. It's not consistent because nothing in Mario is, but
fair.
Fun little nod.
Was there any other like Easter eggs that you guys like noticed or anything during the movie though?
Ooh.
Oh, Punch Out Pizzeria.
Oh yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Pauline.
Pauline. Yeah.
As the mayor of Brooklyn, apparently, or probably the mayor of New York City, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I want to rewatch the movie, but have the ability to pause just like when Mario's playing Kid Icarus, just to see all the other like things that are going on in his room.
Oh yeah, I think there was like some sort of ship or something like that.
Yeah, I forget what it was, but it's like
it was hanging up.
Yeah, or it's like on top of his TV. I forget exactly what it's a reference to, but it is a reference in of itself.
Yeah, to like a game.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
All in all, very good shit.
Yes, indeed.
Go watch it if you haven't already. So next week, we got a few different options, but I think the obvious one is going to be Renfield.
Yeah, probably.
Because it's either Renfield, Mafia Mama, or the Pope's Exorcist. And I'll be honest, a little bit of me wants to try for all three, but I know that's not going to happen.
Yeah,
so,
same.
Might as well settle for the Nicolas Cage Dracula movie, you know?
Yeah.
How can you not?
Yeah. The fact that it is Nicolas Cage, like when first seeing that trailer and then it's Nicolas Cage, I'm like, yes, I'm seeing this. There's no doubt.
Right? Instant win.
I mean, when I first saw that trailer, I was like, I'm sorry, what?
I mean, don't get me wrong, I was like that too, but I'm like, that's half of the reason why I'm going to see this movie.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, thanks so much for listening, everybody. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Spotify, TikTok, whatever you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
InStirMental, you got any things you want anybody to follow you on?
Go on Instagram and follow Unlimited Video Games, because that is
Heck
the
yeah.
best retro video game store in the United States.
Possibly the world.
Yeah, possibly. I don't know. Japan's pretty dope. But
Yeah, Japan's probably got some stiff competition.
Yeah,
but
I'm speaking from personal bias,
yes,
but
yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say.
yeah, I mean that, and go to your local video game store too and show them some love.
Indeed.
and also make sure to follow Unlimited Video Games on Twitch TV for those weekly store
Oh
streams.
yes, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
They're a riot, and I'm not just saying that because I'm there for a lot of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, this has been Under the Bridge, featuring...
InStirMental? I wasn't sure if that was my part.
Yeah, no, sorry.
No,
This is how we end all of
This
these.
is how we do it.
Okay.
And this has been your host, Cody, aka the Scarlet Troll.
And Greg, aka Greg.
And we'll catch you guys next week.
Goodbye,
See ya.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Mamma mia.